is the Celebrity Afterlife Report podcast.
Hello. I am the Celebrity Medium, and it is my pleasure, as well as my honor, to welcome you to another edition of the Celebrity Afterlife Report, the only show on the internet that gives you the up-to-the-minute gossip about all your favorite deceased celebrities. I think I have some really hot stuff this week, and I can't wait to share it with you. So, what do you say? Let's dive right in. 4 months now, we've been following the continuing saga of Charles Lindbergh and his plans to build an all-white community in the next world. I apologize to longtime listeners for having to recap this story again, but it's important for the benefit of people who are just joining us. I'll try to make this quick. Singer-actress Judy Garland wanted to build an all-female town in the afterlife, having developed a negative attitude toward men after her 4 earthly plane divorces. She ran into a problem finding male construction workers to help her until Fred Trump, father of the Donald, loaned her some of his employees. Judy fell in love with Trump and announced that the two of them were going to run the town as co-mayors, which offended the lesbians and radical feminists who were looking forward to moving into a male-free town. That caused the problem to fall apart, and Garland abandoned it, giving the plans for the town to aviator Lindbergh, who secretly planned on making it an all-white community. People including Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his new BFF Adolf Hitler, who is a changed man, who has renounced his former Nazi ways, objected to Lindbergh's plans and protested. After months of King, Hitler, and their supporters being camped outside the under-construction town, Lindbergh finally threw in the towel and stopped construction. Fred Trump has also publicly denounced his son's run for the American presidency and has changed his last name to Garland in honor of his now wife, Judy. Okay, that's the recap. The latest development is that Afterlife rumor has it that Judy and Fred are separated. According to my sources, it seems that Ms. Garland has discovered something disturbing about Fred's involvement with the town building project. Now, no one is entirely sure what that something is, but rumor has it that it has a connection to what I reported last week about Fred having been arraigned after a Ku Klux Klan rally that nearly turned into a riot on the earthly plane. This new development has my antennae at full extension, and I am on my sources to get any and all information about what's going on. I have a feeling this is going to be, in the words of the Donald, huge. Stay tuned. We have also been following the story of the making of the erstwhile action movie The Lassie Squad. Rudd Weatherwax, the man who created the Lassie TV show and movies, decided some time back that he wanted to make an all-dog cop movie. That's right, you heard right. It was to have the usual cop action movie plot, but star an all-dog cast as 4-legged police officers. During production, however, it quickly became obvious that that was a completely unworkable idea, as some of the dogs refused to follow direction, and the movie disintegrated into an unintentional farce. Weatherwax salvaged the project by bringing in numerous veteran film comedians to turn the thing into a deliberate farce. The movie was scheduled to open on September 12, and despite the misgivings of many in the next world film community, it did! According to sources who were in the audience at the premiere, The Lassie Squad, about which critic Roger Ebert said, quote, "To compare this movie to the Titanic would be a disservice to The Lassie Squad. This film is a far greater disaster than the sinking of that mighty ship," unquote, was a huge hit with the crowd. My information is that the audience seemed to enjoy it as a campy classic. I'm told that some of the outtakes, such as one of the dogs licking the lens of the camera, were actually left in and written into the plot, such as it is. One of my sources reports hearing a man leaving the theater saying, quote, "It's the worst thing I've ever seen," but I don't remember ever laughing so hard before, unquote. Rudd Weatherwax has made lemonade out of lemons, it seems. One of the original bad boys of rock and roll is acting up again, this time in the afterlife. As I've reported in the past, Vince McMahon Sr., father of the current chairman of World Wrestling Entertainment, has an acting company in the next world which specializes in the plays of William Shakespeare. All the actors in the company, with the exception of former Neil Armstrong and Doors singer Jim Morrison, are ex-pro wrestlers. As I reported recently, Morrison was cast as Iago to Gorilla Monsoon's Othello, and by all accounts, he seemed to be doing a good job. That was true up until this past week, when the diva side of the Lizard King's personality surfaced. According to sources, out of the blue, Morrison announced to his fellow cast members that when they were off stage, none of them were to make eye contact with him under any circumstances. As you would probably guess, this decree did not sit well with the other wrestlers/actors, nor with Shakespeare, who directs all the company's productions. I'm informed that the former grapplers told Jimbo in no uncertain terms where he could place his demand, and that the Bard compared it to bovine excrement. Word is that McMahon and Shakespeare have decided that Morrison will change his attitude pronto, or he and the company will part company. Lastly, several weeks ago, I related the story of the Wright Brothers, the co-inventors of the first airplane, and their mutual crush on former astronaut Sally Ride, who the boys met at a conference in the afterlife. The two nearly came to blows, vying for Sally's attentions. As it turned out, however, she spurned both Orville and Wilbur in favor of their sister Katherine. The boys, feeling understandably hurt by that, started dating beautiful women to reestablish their reputations as studs. I reported that Orville was attempting to arrange a nude photo shoot with the Afterlife version of Playgirl magazine. I can now report that the issue has been released to the public. Unfortunately for him, it may not help him out with the ladies as he had hoped. There's a rumor going around that in the 2-page centerfold shot of him in the nude, his package has been enlarged photographically. Word is that people who worked on the shoot are saying, anonymously of course, that they had no choice but to do that so as not to disappoint their readers. Orville, I'm told, is maintaining radio silence on the matter. And on that embarrassing note, I'm going to lock up the Celebrity Afterlife Report studio until next week, when I will return with more up-to-the-minute gossip about all your favorite deceased celebrities. Between now and then, I beseech you to tell your friends that the report is available for free on iTunes. I am the Celebrity Medium. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Celebrity Afterlife Report podcast. To ask a question about your favorite deceased celebrity, call 818-3-MY-DREAM. 818-3-MY-DREAM. 818-369-3732.